Steve, a frustrating evening. We missed so many chances. We could have won that game.
Football's football's about taking your chances. It's about margins, isn't it? When you're on top and you're creating, you need to score. You need to also make better decisions defensively. For the first time tonight, there was little sort of cracks appearing where we'd been so solid prior. So obviously, when you don't go in the lead, you're obviously going to be open to a sucker punch, and that's what happened. We got far too tight, couldn't see the ball, didn't read the bounce at all, and then arguably, I'm hearing the lad was offside, but that wouldn't surprise us if another sort of decision went against us. But we've only got ourselves to blame. We're at the stage now where we really are creating chances, and as I say, the first half we could have been in, and the game's different. It really is different. Second half, in fairness to Boston, they sorted our system out a lot better than they did the first half. They were a lot more dangerous. They won a lot of balls on the top end, but they also won second balls, which was disappointing. And I think that's where the second goal led to. But as much as the missed chances, the biggest, one of the biggest disappointments of the night was that the last half hour we really did look, like we'd run out of ideas, and obviously we'd made the subs when we did, so that was a disappointing thing. We stopped. I wouldn't say we certainly didn't stop trying, because that's nothing you could accuse the lads of, but we stopped creating. We went route one, and it's not what we're good at, and it's not how we're going to get success. We'd worked on ways of getting out from the back, but you have to be really confident and brave enough. And I think when that second goal in, unfortunately, we just sort of turning balls around the corner, and as I say, that's not us. We huffed and we puffed second half, but really the game should have been put to bed first half.
We played so well, didn't we, in that first half hour there? City was causing problems with his pace. Matty was getting through. We had those great chances as well.
But yeah, I mean, as you say though, you work on ways to try and beat your opposition, and then at half time it always gives teams a chance to regroup and do things differently. We did it on Saturday the opposite way. We were finding it hard against South Shields even when they had 10 men, until we tweaked a little bit at half time, and they'd kind of worked out what we were trying to do. But as I say, we'd had our chances by then. You're not going to get 5-6 open goals and one-on-ones in a game, and we didn't manage to convert any of them. So that, obviously that's football. You're not going to win games if you can't convert your chances.
Yeah. A couple of injuries in that second half there, Cardo and Platty. Did that upset things a little bit?
Cardo looks like he's pulled his hamstring, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was going to be a lengthy one. He's had hamstring problems before he came to the club, and that looks like he's pulled again. So then you're putting Scotty back to that position, so you're losing Scotty's natural threat down the left-hand side then, but he always does well when he plays there. And then the rest of it, I was just trying to, Platty had a dead leg. We've got another massive game on Saturday against Bucks, and we're trying to manage people's minutes who've been missing and ill. So we put fresh legs in. I thought Jarrett done really well tonight. I thought he was, one of the standout players for us, considering he's been out of the squad for a little while. But that's what I said when I came into the club, was like, you've got to train well. It's not just about Saturday, it's about Tuesday, Thursday, and if you train well, that can get you back in thinkings. And Jared's a prime example of that, because he's trained, he's got his head down even when he's being left out. He's been at the games, he's been running up and down the pitch on his own. So Jared worked really hard to get himself back into the frame today, and I thought he'd done really well.
Matty Young was in goal. On Saturday we hardly mentioned it because he didn't see any action, but tonight he might have let two in, but he pulled off a couple of good saves as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a good keeper, but again, the second half, it was, there was very little for him to try and play through with. We just, as I say, we'd set ourselves up through no fault of what we tried to do game plan, but we set ourselves up, and all he could do really was try to drive balls left and right and try to find a switch. We've got to be better than that. We've got to mix it up better than that. So just as I said, disappointing first half regarding putting chances away, and just a disappointing last 30 minutes where we looked like we couldn't create anything, and the things we were creating were just basic balls turned around the corner.
So we go again. against Buxton on Saturday. I mean, back-to-back wins are elusive, aren't they? So it seems to me now that we're going to have to win every alternate game to be safe.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably say it differently because you see games differently, but that should have been the turning point tonight. With what we created, so that should have been the back-to-back win that's been so elusive, and then you go into Saturday, but that doesn't change how we have to go into Saturday. We have to go into Saturday believing that we can win. I think that we can 100% win on Saturday, and Buxton will probably be saying the same. But we have to go out and dust ourselves down. We can't be too disappointed. We can't be all doom and gloom. We've got to get back into training on Thursday. We've got to see who's fit and who's not, and have a look at if there's anything we can do to bring players in to bolster the squad in certain positions now, because we have picked up a couple of injuries, and then we have to get mentally and physically ready to go again on Saturday and look to get 3 points. There's no other way.